Yo, what's going on? Before I begin, I want to say this. I'm not perfect. Never said that I was. And I'll never say that I am. That I am. You know what I mean? When I talk about black people, you know, I'm referring to us all, me included. You understand? And I had to say this because of the fact that I think some of you all truly believe that I'm down in my race as if I'm better than my race. Nah, far from that. The reason why I could talk about the things that occur in my race is because I know all of what it is to be ignorant, to be alcoholic, to be a weed smoker, to overall just be an N-I-double-G-A. That plain and simple. I've been there. And I'm still trying to correct, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the things that I've done in the past. I'm still trying to correct my ignorant ways. So I just wanted to let you all know that I'm just like you all. And we have to get it together. That's real. That's factual. Let's begin. Straight up, this is real, man. From what I've learned throughout my life, you can't tell black people nothing. That's real. Because black people think they know everything. And they don't want to hear the truth. They just don't. Especially when it comes from someone that looks like them, such as myself. I always get this in the comment section of my videos that I do about black people. It's either what I'm saying, or it's the way I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't understand that I talk this way because I'm passionate about what I'm saying. I want to see change. And not just me. I mean, I think a lot of other people do as well. We want to see our race at our best. That's real. And then also on top of that, this is not rage. This is not me yelling. This is me giving you energy. This is my energy that I'm giving to you all. You understand? But most times people will say that it's coming off as if I'm yelling and I'm trying to school somebody or tell somebody what to do. And that's far from the furthest truth. Because at the end of the day, I always say this for those that are new to the channel. I've always been saying this for years. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you take it and apply it to your life, kudos to you. If you don't, who gives a fuck? And that's real. This is the reason why I tell you right off the rip, I'm not religious. So I'm not going to keep on hitting you with the truth and hitting you with the truth and hitting you with the truth. You know what I'm saying? I got family members right now that I used to talk to on the phone. And I would tell them the truth. And it seems as though that, like, every time I start talking about the truth, they got something to do. Like, oh, yo, my cat is on fire, but you never had a cat before. And then I caught it. Like, oh, I get it. They don't want to hear the truth. I tell you what, how about I don't fuck with you anymore? That's the type of dude I am. For real. I care, but I don't care. Because whatever I say, right, and it's the truth, if you don't go by it, I'm going to go by it. That's real. And it's crazy. You know, people will say, man, you know, man, if you didn't yell, if you wasn't as aggressive, then maybe I would hear it. Man, get out of here with that, man. If you played sports, whether it was in high school, college, or professional, you had Caucasian coaches yelling at you all day. If you were in any type of the 4 branches of the Army, or well, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, I think that's what it is. They yelled at you. Your sergeant yelled at you. You had the president of the United States, he might have not yelled at you. But at the time he was running for office, called Joe Biden, he might have not yelled at you, but he disrespected you by saying that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So there have been non-blacks, Caucasians that have said worse and have yelled at you, cursed at you far more worse, that ain't even worse than I ever would. And I'm not cursing at you. I use curse words, but I'm not cursing at you. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. When you listen to rap lyrics, when you listen to rap songs, they're cursing at you. They're telling you constantly in every song, I'll fuck your, we keeping it a buck, right? I'll fuck your bitch. I'll take your money. I'll take your car. You ain't worth shit. And you listen to that in each and every song that rapper puts out. And here you have a problem with me on the way I tell the truth. I've never personally been that type of person. I don't care where, who, or what, or where the truth comes from. I don't. As long as I'm receiving it. As long as I could take that truth and apply it to my life. That's real. I can accept the truth coming from a homeless person. I can accept the truth coming from a person that didn't graduate from high school, that has a GED, or that stopped at the 3rd grade, and now he's 28, 30 years old. I can accept the truth from a young person, because I truly believe that wisdom comes from the young as well as the old. And that's real. But black people don't like for anyone to tell them the truth, because it seems as though that you're trying to tell them what to do. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, what if I'm trying to tell you what to do? What if I'm trying to tell you what to do? Because if I'm trying to tell you what to do, aren't I telling you the right thing to do? Aren't you tired of people lying to you? Aren't you tired of politicians lying to you every 4 years, trying to get your vote? Aren't you? Aren't you tired of your government lying to you? Aren't you? Overall, for those that live in the United States, because that's the only place that I've lived in thus far, so that's the only place I can talk about. Aren't you tired of living in a country where you're just being fed lies all the time? So why not listen to someone that's telling you the truth? But I know, I get it. See, black people don't want to be held responsible for anything. And when, I don't mean to be biblical, but when you know the truth shall make you free. Make you free. It depends on what, this is crazy, but it's the truth. It depends on what version of the Bible you're referring to when you look at that particular scripture, because some of the versions of the Bible say set you free, and others will say make you free. But that's real. Now you're going to be held accountable for your actions because you know better. You know better. And when you know better, you're supposed to do better. There's a lot of people out here shooting and killing each other. There are a lot of people, black people that is, that are out here shooting and killing each other, that's robbing, that's stealing, that's selling drugs, that's doing all the wrong things, but know better. Know better. And when you try to tell them to do the right thing, they get an attitude. You can lose your life for telling black people the truth. That's real talk. And some people may say, well, man, that's crazy. I don't want to hear that. You're lying about that. Well, what about Malcolm X? You can sit back and say, oh, the FBI, the CIA was in on his death and this and that and so forth. But who shot him is the question. Who had him set up? And it's fucked up because he got shot in front of his family, his daughters and his wife. What about Dr. Martin Luther King? The list goes on of people that put their lives on the line, telling black people the truth and died for it. See, I'm not one of those people or persons. People will say, man, you should run, you should get into politics, or you should be like a leader, or, you have leadership type qualities and this and that and so forth. Maybe so, but at the end of the day, I'm not dying for no niggas. I'm just not. I'm not. YouTube as far as I go. And there's even a limit to that. Because like I told you all before, I'm only going to be here for a short time. And this particular time, I'm just going to be out. I just am. I'm not going to let you know what happened. I'm just going to be out. The end. No reruns of old videos. Just, I'm out. Because my life means more to me, as well as my family, than anyone on this planet. And I learned from my elders. I learned from my ancestors. I learned from people that came before me. They taught me a valuable lesson. That every brother is not a brother. And every sister is not a sister. It took me some time to realize that, to learn that. But now that I realize that and I understand that, I move different. But this is the truth. You can't tell black people the truth. You can't. They get agitated. They start fiddling with stuff and looking around and shit like that. And then other black people, the fanatics, the ones that truly think that they love black people to the point where they make excuses for black people. You run into those type of people. I run into them all the time in the comment section of the videos I do about black people. Where their mentality is black people can't do no wrong. And that the white man's done everything bad. And that once we separate ourselves from the white man, then everything is going to be all good. But let me ask you a question. For real, what if everything is not all good once we do that? Then what? Then what? That's all I want to know. Because I'm here to tell you. I got pistol whip right here. Wasn't no white man that did that. Got jumped a couple times. Wasn't no white man that did that. Got robbed a couple times. Wasn't no white man that did that. Now, like I said before in previous videos, I'm not going to let that man off the hook. The non-black. I'm not going to let him off the hook. But at the same time, seriously, I can honestly say that out of all of the things I've gotten myself into, good or bad, really most of the time white people didn't have nothing to do with it. Didn't. And that's real shit. And most of the times that I've had conversations about the truth or whatever, you know what I'm saying? With black people, it's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything, and it's crazy for me to say this, but it's the truth. I don't want to hear anything that's smart, that's going to make me think. Especially that's going to make me think outside of the box. Now, if that non-black over there say it, if that white man over there says it, then I'll believe that. But if you say it, no. I don't believe that shit. Because whenever I hear a black person says anything, this is the average black person, says anything, I think he or she is trying to spit some game. Real talk. Real talk. I've been telling black people for the longest that live here in Charlotte, yo man, it's some alkaline water, mineral spring water up there in Concord. You don't have to go to Walmart, Target, Harris Teeter, none of these places. All you got to do is just drive up there. The water's free. I just went up there this morning, and I got how many gallons I got? I think I got about 15 gallons of water. It's free. All you need to do is just bring your own jugs. I'm finishing this one off. This little pint. That water is free. No type of chemicals, no nothing. It's filtered by Mother Nature, Mother Earth. But I know what I would have to do for black people that look at my channel that live in Charlotte. What I would have to do is I would have to get a white person up here. I'm not saying all people, all black people, but for some, I would have to get a white person up here to tell them the same shit that I just said in order for them to move. Real shit. You want to know why most black people don't believe in aliens? You want to know why most black people don't believe in UFOs? It's because white people haven't verified it like that just yet. And that they can't comprehend that, you know what I'm saying? Someone out there is more intelligent than the non-blacks. And that's real shit. They can't believe in a UFO until a non-black designs it or makes it. But I've seen their carbon copy of what a UFO is. It's called a Tesla. So you're basically, anyone that drives a Tesla is driving a fucking goddamn UFO with 4 wheels on it. And most of you all don't even know who Nikola Tesla is. The person that the car is named after. You just driving because of status quo. Don't even know that shit ain't nothing but a bootleg version of a goddamn UFO. With 4 wheels that can't fly. But that's real. That's the reason why. They're waiting, black people are waiting for white people to come down and come out of a UFO, which ain't gonna never happen unless it's staged. But they'll never believe that there's highly intellectual, highly intelligent, what people may deem as black folks coming from another galaxy and what they call unidentified flying objects. Now they're saying IFOs, identified flying objects. Okay, so what are you saying? You saying you identifying them. So what are they then? Since you can identify them. But you notice that? You notice when a white man says IFO, we changed that. So now we used to say unidentified. Now he said IFO. Now we call them identified flying objects. Okay, since you identify with them, then what are they then? See, this is the problem that I have in the black community, because I don't think that the non-blacks are smart. Not smarter than the ones that built the fucking pyramids in Egypt as well as in Nubia. Because some will say, oh man, black people didn't build those pyramids in Egypt. Well, what about Nubia, which is right down the street, and Sudan? It's not just pyramids in Egypt or Kemet. So miss me with that. But you can't tell black people the truth, because black people truly believe in what the textbooks say about them, which is they ain't nothing but slaves. Straight up. And when you say that, or when you think that, when you say you an FBA, a full-born American, you're cutting off or severing ties with Africa. You're saying, nah, I wasn't no African. I wasn't the one that built the pyramids. I wasn't the one that did none of that shit. I wasn't the Moors. I wasn't the Olmecans. None of that. I'm just a full-born American. So what's your history then? What's your history? Because see, the Irish embrace their history. Real talk. The Italians embrace their history. What's your history? What's your culture? Soul food? You talking about scraps that master used to give to us, and we seasoned that shit the fuck up and really didn't have any nutrients? The only reason why we ate it is because that's all we had, and we seasoned it up enough for it to taste good? That's your culture? That's your tradition? That's your food? I really want to know. What is the black man or black woman's culture in America? Hip hop? You really want to go with that? I'm not saying it's not a form of art, but look where it came from. If it weren't for old school music, if it weren't for us sampling James Brown and the likes, there wouldn't be no hip hop. If it weren't for that drum that came from Africa, there wouldn't be no hip hop. We were telling stories and all the rest of that shit behind music. With music since Africa. But black people don't want to hear the truth, and that's fine. I tell you what, if you don't want to hear the truth, I tell you what, stop bitching and complaining about what's going on in America. Stop talking about they lying to us. Stop looking at Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? When he talks about, these celebrities and they going through this Illuminati shit and all the rest of that and getting duped up the booty hole, all of that. You don't want to hear the truth. Then don't hear the truth at all. But I truly understand, excuse me, how blacks are. They're selective with their truth. And it's like as if, it's not as if, it's like they'll much rather hear about somebody getting duped up their booty hole that's a celebrity that they already probably knew anyway, than hearing about how great they are or were in the past. Which is crazy to me. So there's a whole lot of unofficial members of the LGBTQ community. If you are entertained by that, if you're entertained by listening to someone that's talking about another man getting duped up the booty hole, that sounds to me like you're borderline gay. And you love to listen to gossip, which is crazy to me. And gossip is just what it is, just a whole bunch of men or women running their damn mouths. It's crazy to me, like how things are, man. When you look at these platforms, these podcasts that these guys have, like DJ Academics, Joe Buttons, and the list goes on. DJ Vlad or Vlad TV, where these men are talking to other men about their penis sizes and who they dating and all. That's borderline gay to me. And don't tell me that they've never done. I've heard DJ Academics talk about something and I stopped it. Oh, you going too far. I've heard Joe Buttons do it. You're going too far. That's why I don't fuck with none of them. Because somebody not telling the truth. Because I ain't never asked about another man's private parts. I ain't never tried to dig in another man's pockets. I never want to know what another man has, how much another man has. I used to think back in the days that women only gossip, but now I see men do it as well. But are they real men, is the question. Or maybe I'm just a prehistoric dinosaur that everybody will be glad when I die out, and my kind as well. Maybe I'm just that stubborn old 90s nigga that's used to things being a certain kind of way. Well, if that's the case, then, hey, listen, I'm out soon. And I don't mean I'm going to die. No. I mean, I'm out. Like, I'm just going to be out. I'm going to be gone. I'm out of the game. Because, see, this is the problem. Like, I'm used to my black people being a certain kind of way. And excuse me, if these type of black people ain't like that, I apologize. I'm going to ease the fuck up off of y'all then. Because see, I'm used to seeing blacks stand up for something. I'm used to seeing blacks being strong with their head up in the air, regardless of what type of situation that they're going through, good or bad. I'm used to us being stern. I'm used to black people saying something and their word being a bond. That's real. So please forgive me if I'm trying to critique my people into being something that I'm used to them being. That when I read the real books of our history, or when I listen to my ancestors and hear the real stories, not the lies, not the fake shit, right? I sit back and I be like, man, this is how we really supposed to be. So let me go back into town and let the other black people know that, yeah, man, we slipping. Every now and then, everybody needs a G-check, needs to get G-checked. And that's how I get down. But apparently, people just don't want, I guess, my quote-unquote opinion of shit. Because now the truth is nothing but an opinion. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. It's the way that you look at it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it in the comment section of my videos, one of my videos. A person said to me that black people don't have to listen to what you say. They don't have to move like how you want them to move. Now is how I want them to move. So being a strong, powerful race is not how you want to move and how you want to be. That's fine. This is the reason why I've turned in my resignation. I gave you my 2 weeks notice 2 weeks ago. I don't want to be black anymore. If that's the case, I got my black card on deck. You can have it. That's not saying I'm turning in my melanin. That's not saying that I'm gonna stop fucking with black women. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that as a collective, y'all can have your shit. Straight up. Because I'm gonna end it like this. Real talk. I mean, you've heard this before. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And this is the reason why black people as a collective, not as an individual, I keep on saying this. This is the reason why as a collective, we are at our lowest. You are seeing the fall of a race of people. And it's sickening. And this is the reason why I don't want to be a part of it. Other than that, I'm out.